SlocumAP Los Angeles Dodgers starting pitcher Yu Darvish 21 looks up the sky as he exits in the seventh inning of Game 3 of the NLCS against the Chicago Cubs on Tuesday, October 17, 2017, in Chicago. AP photo. Matt Slocum only a few hours before backing the Cubs into a corner with a postseason performance just about unrecognizable to anyone around here, Yu Darvish sent a nice note to our Evan Grant. And if that's not the kind of irony my journalism professors always craved in a lead, I haven't learned anything since. Anyway, as Darvish explained in a long text, it wasn't really the Rangers' fault that he looks something like a playoff ace only now, as a Dodger. Part of Darvish's motivation was a stand-up defense of Doug Brocail and the since-departed Brad Hallman, his pitching coaches in Texas. The rest, no doubt, was a reply to the Dodgers' actual contribution. The plan here, as always, is to figure out who gets credit, who's to blame, and how to keep this under 900 words. What we've heard lately, mostly from the Dodgers, is how they streamlined Darvish's approach. Of course, we've heard this before. Darvish is forever shelving pitches, only to bring them back after rummaging around his repertoire. To be fair, there do seem to be differences. First, he's returned to the arm slot he used before Tommy John surgery. He did this, apparently, because he wanted to, and the Dodgers said, "You bet." Besides the mechanical adjustment to restore his world-class slider, Darvish is digesting the data the Dodgers feed him. Now, in case you were wondering, the Rangers have numbers geeks, too, so it's not as if that is new to Darvish. John Daniels concedes it may have been presented differently, and that, friends, makes all the difference. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Or who says it. It's a lesson the Rangers learned a long time ago, in other administrations. Maybe you remember Bobby Witt. A former first-round pick by the Rangers, he struggled mightily with his command, leading the club to send him to AAA. The pitching coach there, a guy named Ferguson Jenkins, made a few minor alterations and shipped him back a new man. Witt didn't exactly return as a Hall of Famer, but he pitched 16 big league seasons, and he had his moments. What stuck with me all these years, though, was the reaction from Bobby Valentine when the media heaped credit on Jenkins for kick-starting Witt's career. "What has Fergie told Bobby?" Valentine asked, exasperated. "That we haven't." Could have been it was a Hall of Famer who said it, instead of Tom House, the Inspector Gadget of pitching coaches. No matter how good the coach, no single approach fits all sizes. Darvish's case presents fairly unique challenges. Besides intelligence, talent and an ego to match, the cultural difference occasionally gets lost in translation. For instance, Darvish didn't seem to understand A.J. Pierzynski in 2013. Pierzynski, never one to let an opinion die quietly, tried to loosen up the staff ace with his blunt sense of humor. When that failed, the catcher tried tough love, which only made matters worse. Next thing you knew, Darvish and Pierzynski no longer played pitch and catch. Funny thing is, 2013 remains Darvish's best season. Maybe the drama was good for him. At any rate, subsequent attempts by Mike Maddox, then Brocail, as well as a host of catchers intent on getting Darvish to establish his fastball before mixing in his other ingredients, have yielded varying degrees of success. Nothing quite pushed Darvish to the top of the heap, where his talent says he belongs. So why does everything seem to be coming together now? At 31 could be the Dodgers' input, which, by the way, is led by a former Ranger, Rick Honeycutt. Could be he realizes to get that big payday this winter, he needs to prove he's a big-game pitcher, so he's more receptive. Could be he's more relaxed in Los Angeles, where Clayton Kershaw's the Dodgers' ace, with all the psychological baggage that implies. Or it could simply be a small sample size, and his next start he goes back to his old self. No matter what happens from here on out, it's not necessarily the Rangers' fault. Some players need the jolt of a move to shake them from their stubbornness. Some benefit from the internal competition generated by elevated play around them. From my youth, there's the lesson of Joe Morgan, a good player in Houston, a Hall of Famer amid all the rest in Cincinnati. But if Darvish really has figured it out, it's up to the Rangers to find out why. Some soul-searching is in order. There's a reason this organization has such trouble finding pitchers, only to lose them. Recall that Darvish's opponent Tuesday was Kyle Hendricks, a former Rangers minor leaguer who's worked out pretty well for the Cubs. To make matters worse, Darvish hasn't just been good in the playoffs, he's been historic first postseason pitcher in 40 years to draw a base-loaded walk. Watching him hit 4 straight pitches made me think of his home run last year. Clearly, he spent far too much time in the batting cage here. Peaking at the right time. How Yu Darvish has fared in 2017 regular season. Team WL era H9 HR9 BB9 SO9 Rangers 69 4.017.61.33.09.7 Dodgers 43 3.448.01.32.4 11.1 Postseason. Team WL era H9 HR9 BB9 SO9 Dodgers 21.596.41.60.8 11.1